The book of Genesis, chapter 8, verses 1 through 5. But God remembered Noah and all the wild animals and the livestock that were with him in the ark, and he sent a wind over the earth, and the waters receded. Now the springs of the deep and the floodgates of the heavens had been closed, and the rain had stopped falling from the sky. The water receded steadily from the earth. At the end of the 150 days the water had gone down, and on the 17th day of the 7th month the ark came to rest on the mountains of Ararat. The waters continued to recede until the 10th month, and on the first day of the 10th month the tops of the mountains became visible. This passage reminds us that God never forgets his promises. Just as he remembered Noah, he remembers each one of us in our times of trial. The waters receding symbolize the end of a period of hardship and the beginning of restoration. In our lives, we may face floods of challenges, but we must hold on to the faith that God will bring us to a place of rest and renewal. The book of Genesis, chapter 8, verses 6 through 12. After 40 days Noah opened a window he had made in the ark and sent out a raven, and it kept flying back and forth until the water had dried up from the earth. Then he sent out a dove to see if the water had receded from the surface of the ground. But the dove could find nowhere to perch because there was water over all the surface of the earth, so it returned to Noah in the ark. He reached out his hand and took the dove and brought it back to himself in the ark. He waited 7 more days and again sent out the dove from the ark. When the dove returned to him in the evening, there in its beak was a freshly plucked olive leaf. Then Noah knew that the water had receded from the earth. He waited 7 more days and sent the dove out again, but this time it did not return to him. This passage illustrates the importance of patience and perseverance. Noah's repeated sending of the dove shows his hope and faith in God's timing. In our lives, we must also be patient and trust that God will reveal his plans for us in due time. The olive leaf is a symbol of peace and new beginnings, reminding us that after every storm, there is a promise of peace and renewal. The book of Genesis, chapter 8, verses 13 through 17. By the first day of the first month of Noah's 601st year, the water had dried up from the earth. Noah then removed the covering from the ark and saw that the surface of the ground was dry. By the 27th day of the 2nd month, the earth was completely dry. Then God said to Noah, "Come out of the ark, you and your wife and your sons and their wives. Bring out every kind of living creature that is with you, the birds, the animals, and all the creatures that move along the ground, so they can multiply on the earth and be fruitful, and increase in number on it." This passage signifies a new beginning and the fulfillment of God's promise. Noah and his family are called to step out into a renewed world, a world cleansed and ready for a fresh start. In our lives, we too are given opportunities for new beginnings. When we step out in faith, we can trust that God has prepared the way for us to thrive and multiply in our endeavors. The book of Genesis, chapter 8, verses 18 through 19. So Noah came out, together with his sons and his wife and his sons' wives. All the animals and all the creatures that move along the ground and all the birds, everything that moves on land, came out of the ark, one kind after another. This passage emphasizes the importance of community and togetherness. Noah, his family, and all the animals exited the ark as a unified group, ready to start anew. In our lives, we are reminded that we are not alone in our journeys. We have our families, friends, and communities to support us. Together, we can face challenges and embrace new beginnings with strength and unity. The book of Genesis, chapter 8, verses 20 through 22. Then Noah built an altar to the Lord and, taking some of all the clean animals and clean birds, he sacrificed burnt offerings on it. The Lord smelled the pleasing aroma and said in his heart, "Never again will I curse the ground because of humans, even though every inclination of the human heart is evil from childhood. And never again will I destroy all living creatures as I have done. As long as the earth endures, seed time and harvest, cold and heat, summer and winter, day and night will never cease." This passage highlights the importance of gratitude and worship. Noah's first act upon leaving the ark was to build an altar and offer thanks to God. In our lives, we should always remember to express our gratitude for God's blessings and promises. Worship and thanksgiving are powerful acts that draw us closer to God and remind us of His everlasting covenant with us.